I realize that I have a problem and it connects to hearing God, and I'm realizing where I'm at right now. This is not one of those videos where I'm going to tell you what the solution is at the end of the video. I'm trying to find the solution. I think there's something here, but essentially I'm realizing I can hear God speak, but that's not enough, and it's causing some problems in my life. I have to figure this out because it's starting to become a problem that has to be addressed. I'm headed up to the office this morning, the aftermath of my live video last night. I go live every Wednesday. Join me for the lives. I'm also gonna be on Discord every week. 8:30 is the live Central Standard Time, 8:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. I'm gonna be on Discord, practicing hearing God with you guys and doing freedom stuff. If you're interested, there's a form in the description for this video where you can sign up. But join the Patreon, join the Discord, building a community. Let's go. So I think for me, the rub that I'm starting to feel is, okay, I'm hearing God, we're asking God about every area of our life, we're surrendering our life to God in every area, parenting, money, our work, our schedule, our finances, just everything. As we start to hear God, you know, He's speaking and He's sharing a lot of stuff. And after having done this for more than 5 years on some level, but really about a lot of stuff for the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's getting to the point now where it's like we've got so many things the Lord has spoken to us, and I'm realizing that my struggle is not actually hearing God. It's going through the full process of understanding what God's asking us to do, and then getting enough clarity to then create a commitment, to then jump in and say, I'm gonna do this. God, you told me to do X, I'm gonna be faithful to do X. God, you told me to do Y, I'm gonna be faithful to do Y. Or, God, you're telling me to do Z, I need to hear more information before I act. When we hear God speak, we're out ahead. God's telling us about stuff that's coming. We're ahead of schedule. So sometimes He's telling us stuff to get our minds around it, or to get us in prayer, to get us open to the ideas that He's leading us to. And that isn't always immediately actionable sense of like changing your life. Sometimes it's just prayer. What we don't want to do is delay and disobedience. Like delayed obedience is disobedience. So what we don't want to do is say, well, I don't know yet, when the Lord's telling us do it now. And that's difficult to do. Like, how do you make a decision now that's the right decision for now and act now, while also with something else be patient and wait for the future? That's the struggle. Headed home for lunch. Ooh, it's bright. The rub comes in this issue of consistency, because I'm trying to do a lot. I got 5 kids. I'm trying to follow Jesus, have a relationship with Jesus, have a relationship with my wife, with my kids, be a missionary. You've got a lot going on too. Like, we've all got a lot going on in our lives, and you don't have to be doing it really poorly to be doing it poorly enough that it should be different. Like, you should be doing this better. God wants to help you do it better. But as God begins to tell you, and maybe that's a new thing for you, but like God's telling me how to improve my life, how do I actually grow? How do I sustain growth? How do I respond? There is a simple answer, and that is obedience. There's a simple obedience to just saying, I'm gonna do what God told me to do. But how do you fight for that the right amount? Because sometimes it gets too hard. What if I mess up? How am I gonna get all of this right? How do I do this in accountability? How do I stay consistent and faithful? That's where the ability to have staying power, to be faithful, to be consistent in what God's told you to do, that's hard. And that's what I'm struggling with. And I feel like it's super, super crucial, right? Like, if I'm hearing God, but I'm not doing it, if I'm tracking on what God's speaking to me, but it's not taking hold of my life, and I am responding in obedience, and things are changing in me, but I feel like as I've looked back and I reflected, even took some time to look at words that God gave me last year, and as I was looking at them, I realized that so many of them, God's spoken to me over and over and over again then, a year ago, and He's still speaking the same thing to me now. I mean, isn't that just the way it works? But also, like, how can I not a year from now be looking at those same words again? I want to give you real examples of what I mean by this, but I'm gonna drive home first. Hello, smells good in here. Sardo. So I don't have a solution to this problem, but I have a possible place I can find one. I've introduced you guys before on this channel to my friend Joel. He has a YouTube channel, and as I've wrestled with this, even here on YouTube, I'm like talking about how to hear God, I realize I'm missing some of the pieces myself, but I think Joel has the pieces. And I'm excited because next week I'm actually going with Joel to California for a week to do some different ministry stuff together. And I'm excited to be with him. And he and I have been talking about what if we work together to get more teaching on hearing God and on the process of getting to a place of conviction on YouTube. And I'm excited because I want to learn from Joel, but I'm excited for you guys too. I'm like, now that I'm realizing that I'm missing this, I'm really feeling like, oh, I need to figure this out. But I'm excited Joel might be able to be the guy to help me figure out how to turn God's voice in my life into commitments and faithfulness. He and I work together already. I'm already helping him with his YouTube channel. I think that it's just the beginning of working more together. But in the meantime, I'm feeling it like, and honestly, a lot of it is trusting God and believing that I think sometimes I want to make it happen faster, but it's also a question of obedience, of sticking it out. Yeah, I headed home feeling wrestly today. Even talking about this, it's like bringing up again this challenge of believing the Lord in faith and obeying the Lord and moving forward and stuff, and how it's just a struggle. And even as I say that, I don't want to complain. That's not the point. I'm not trying to complain. I should be doing with joy what the Lord's asking me to do, but sometimes it's just like, I don't know, maybe I need to get over myself more than I realize. When I was in Norway 3 years ago, God spoke to me about stewardship, and he said, I want you to be good at stewardship. I want you to be great at stewardship. And I think, like at the time, I was like, I'm awful at stewardship. Hey. So I think this is the stewardship piece. And in order to steward things well, first you got to hear the Lord. First you got to start with, this is the right thing. And then you've got to learn how to fight for it. And I think I'm hearing God. I think we've heard the Lord, and there's grace on hearing God on some things. There's a point at which you have to be able to say, no, this is the Lord, and I'm going to fight for it. I think more of the problem is just me not actually obeying and then not visiting back in. I think that's true more than I realized, probably. Thanks for watching. Check out this video here on hearing God. My friend Joel, his course is amazing. Go check it out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.